And joining me from New York City is Daniel Kelley. He's the Academic Director of Graduate Programs at the Preston Robert Tisch Institute for Global Sport. That's part of NYU's School of Professional Studies. Thanks so much, Daniel, for your time. Now, as an Australian myself, I understand that we do have a very strong egalitarian culture, so there is a cultural response here. But the Australian government obviously has removed Novak Djokovic from the country, but the questions of his behaviour during the pandemic nevertheless remain. He was detained by Australian border authorities, now deported, admitted that he appeared at several events despite having tested positive for COVID-19. He's been unclear about his vaccination status, saying in the past that he's opposed to vaccines and sought special treatment the Australian people are denied. How will this drama impact his career, and what toll has it taken on the sport?
Overall, for Novak Djokovic, the major impact is he misses out on another opportunity to add to his 20 Grand Slam championships. Right now, he is tied with both Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, as all three of them have 20 championships apiece. And the Australian Open being an event that he has won the majority of his championships at over 10 times, this was a great opportunity for him to increase his lead and to be the #1 athlete overall when it comes to major championships for the sport of tennis. And so for his legacy moving forward, this is one less opportunity. And the deportation process for Australia potentially could lead to him being banned from the country for 3 more years, which would limit his opportunities to the French Open, Wimbledon, as well as the US Open. And so moving forward, it puts him at a disadvantage as far as becoming the all-time greatest Grand Slam champion for men's tennis.
Now, in fairness, Djokovic had been playing tennis around the world, including in Australia, for the past year of the pandemic without inciting any unrest. And the only evidence of a connection between Djokovic and anti-vaccine protests was the reaction to the government's own decision to deport him. How should athletes toe the line between their political beliefs and their public influence, given they're often in the limelight and admired by so many?
Yeah, the majority of the issues with Djokovic came down to social media. And so the amount of times that he posted awareness of his locations, as well as the fact that he had the interview while being COVID positive, it just put him in a very dim light when it comes to the awareness and understanding of the impact of COVID-19 and this current pandemic that we are in. And so when it comes to an athlete balancing their public persona with their professional expertise, it just comes down to making better choices. And I think for professional athlete as prominent as Novak Djokovic, this is a responsibility that comes with his position as one of the top athletes in the entire world.
Yeah, I suppose COVID-19, though, seems to have highlighted the era of the political athlete, but it's not new either. I mean, Colin Kaepernick and his bended knee became the symbol of solidarity and defiance at the BLM movement, and that's something that he's been celebrated for. Is it a case of athletes being really careful about what kinds of politics they choose to represent?
One of the best aspects of the Black Lives Matter movement with Colin Kaepernick was that it had a cause behind it that had a measurable impact on society. And so with Novak Djokovic, his decision not to be vaccinated yet to compete as a top professional athlete, if he was pushing the platform of unvaccinated athletes speaking for the common person, that would be one thing. But to be an unvaccinated athlete and not follow the rules, it just seems like he's a beacon of hope for the wrong cause, which is to be unvaccinated.